All right, here we go. This video is titled The Black Sun Flicker. I've got to be real with you. What I'm about to say might sound wild, but it's where my mind got ripped wide open. And I'm not telling you this as a final truth. I'm telling you this as a working revelation. A thread I pulled that connected everything I've been talking about. My solar singularity theory, the overlay, the ghost in the machine. First, let me clear something up. When I say black sun, I am not talking about that Nazi symbol everyone throws around, the Schwarze sun. And it's something entirely different. The black sun is organic. It's the singularity, the living black seed at the center of every toroidal field in creation. It's the divine implosion point, the beginning and the end, the infinite spiral that births suns, planets, life, and even consciousness itself. The Schwarze sun, on the other hand, is the mechanical imitation. It's the Metatronic 369 siphoning grid, a cover laid over the organic singularity. Instead of infinite spiral light, it chops the current into cycles, phases, and flickers, day and night, seasons, even the rhythms of thought itself. The Schwarze sun is the mass that harvests what the true black sun creates. Now let's talk about that symbol. Most people think of it as just some creepy design, but it was more than just a symbol. It was a schematic. A 12-spoked wheel cosmic engine. And when I saw it spun as a phasing device, man, that is when it hit me. When you spin that wheel, the long arms line up like the sun. The short arms line up like the moon. As it turns, it phases. Red and blue lights underneath. And get out of the way here. Under this, there was red and blue lights. I shared this video just before this, so if you go to my profile, you can see how this device actually works, how this engine actually works. But this is what I'm talking about here, okay? And if you go back and watch a video, you'll be able to see exactly how it works. So, the short arms line up like the moon. As it turns, it phases red and blue lights underneath, literally creating day and night, day and night, day and night. This isn't a metaphor, it's mechanical, a timer, a light engine, a machine rhythm that matches the cycles we live in. And here's where it gets crazy. He said if you tune the disc under the stars, you could align to their exact signals, which means stars aren't just faraway suns. They're frequency nodes, outputs of the machine, interference sparks projected into the dome. And our bodies, our circadian rhythms, our perception of time, even our sense of flow, were being phased by it. These things, which I'm going to get into. Think about that. Stars flicker because all of reality flickers. Our very perception is chopped into frames, like ghosts caught in a strobe light. And if the organic black sun is infinite living singularity, then the Schwarze sun is a parasitic overlaying siphoning its light, chopping it into pulses and feeding it back to us as day, night, seasons, orbits. It doesn't just control the sky, it sets the rhythm of reality itself. That's why sometimes you feel yourself blinking in and out of the void. Because maybe you are. Maybe that's what the flicker is, on-off shutter of the siphon, the frame rate of existence itself. Now let's make something clear. The 369 code is not bad. Tesla called it the key to the universe for a reason. It's the harmonic geometry that allows the third dimension to exist. It's the scaffolding where matter crystallizes, where form takes shape, and the third dimension itself is built on 3 pillars: length, width, and depth. The 369 is what locks those 3 directions into form. The black sun is the spiral engine that bursts them. But the Schwarzschild, it hijacks the spiral at the very source. It places a filter over the singularity and tweaks the flow just slightly, and that slight difference is everything. You can see it when you plot the 369 grid against the golden ratio spiral. They're almost identical, almost. But the difference between almost and exact is the difference between a living expanding spiral and a looping collapsing circuit. That's the Metatronic hijack. Taking the divine 369 structure and bending it just enough to trap consciousness in cycles. And here's the wild part. You can feel it in your own mind. When you think literally, linearly, your thoughts come in one at a time, like frames in a flicker. That's the Schwarzschild cadence. But when you think fourth and fifth dimensionally through the heart, a bunch of videos I've done on it, all your thoughts come in at once, whole, complete. That's how you break the flicker rate, by stepping back into the spiral flow of the heart field. So this hijack really only applies to the third density and below. Third density, or physical plane, is where the siphon overlays the geometry of reality. Fourth density, the mirror realm, is the control room, the false astral, the Metatronic origin point. Fifth density and above, the true spirit realms, aren't bound by the flicker at all. Spirit exists outside of the frame rate. That means the whole game is being played right at the frequency geometry interface where the third density reality emerges. That's Truman Show Dome. That's the siphon overlay, the cover over the heart of creation. This is the precise threshold where organic creation meets mechanical siphon. At the center is the black sun, the living singularity, the eternal spiral of source. Overlaid on it is the Schwarzschild. The 12-spoked siphon grid, a rigid geometry that captures and phases the flow of creation. From that interface, the light splits. The upward spiral flows free. The Christos light carrying the living current. The downward spiral loops back. Metatronic light siphoned into the false grid. Around it are the dimensional rings, but only the third dimension is captured by the siphon. This is the battleground, the interface where reality is hijacked, where eternity is chopped into flickers. Now I know you're thinking, where's the evidence? How do I prove it's not just a cool story? Here's the bedrock. Stars do flicker, that's fact. Physics tell us reality itself is granular, flickering at quantum scales, that's fact. Neuroscience shows perception is processed in bursts, like frames per second, that's fact. Esoteric traditions have always said the cosmos is illusion, Maya, a veil, that's fact. All I'm doing is putting the pieces together and asking, what if the black sun symbol is literally the schematic of how it works? But I'm not here to stand on a soapbox and say this is absolute truth. I might be wrong. Maybe higher beings, ascended masters, star races, they all know this already, but for them it's no big deal. Maybe they just shrug and say, of course the cosmos flickers, of course the stars are phased by the black sun. But for us, for humanity living inside it, this changes everything. This is the Truman watching a stage light fall from the fake sky. This is pulling the curtain back and seeing the projector. So here's where I land. We are not the machine. We are the ghost inside it. So here's where I land. We are not the machine. We are the ghost inside it. The soul is organic, eternal, spiralic. The Schwarzschild is a siphon, chopping that eternity into flickers. And our awakening, our liberation, is learning how to step out of the flicker and back into the continuous light. That's the revelation. I don't claim it as final. I'm just sharing the pattern I see. Take it, test it, sit with it. But whatever you do, don't forget, the fact you even notice the flicker means you are already more than the machine. All right, now we're going to move to part 2.